right, Queen Bee and the Honeylovers.
Yes, that is us. Yes.
Playing live today. Welcome to Studio V.
Oh, thank you so much for having us. We're so excited.
Congratulations on this new record.
Yes, we love it so much. Yeah.
I don't know what. I guess it's officially. Is it released yet? I guess it
Not
happens
until Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
We got our copy. I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago. And
Yep.
everyone immediately was like, "This is kind of cool."
Something a little different.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the first song we just heard was
Legend of Zelda Fitzgerald.
right, which has. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag here. It has an Asheville connection.
Oh, yes, as does the whole album, hence the name Asheville. So Zelda Fitzgerald and her husband, F. Scott Fitzgerald, the famous writer, were frequent visitors and part-time residents here in Asheville. Sadly, partially because she was in the Highland Hospital. She had been diagnosed with schizophrenia and was in and out of the Highland Hospital where she died in a fire, actually, tragically. So, yes, that was a song about her and kind of about her death as well.
Yeah, she started to become, I don't know, part of the legend or the mythos or something.
Yes, yeah, in recent years especially. Didn't they make like a mini series about her with Christina Ricci or something? Did I see that?
So how did you write that song? You just...
So I wrote the waltz that you heard in the intro. We call it Dreamer's Waltz on the album. But I wrote that actually in my sleep for my husband. I woke up with it fully written and rushed to the piano and wrote it down really quickly before I forget it. And we actually danced our first dance at our wedding to that little waltz, which was very sweet. And then when we were writing the album, I think he maybe had the idea that we turn it into a swing tune. And so James Posadell, our fabulous piano player over here, we got together and he helped me turn it into a swing song and wrote a little bridge for it and turned it into what you hear there on the second half.
Right.
Part of the inspiration on that swing tune, the end of that is there's some imagery. Kind of as the song kind of takes away, it goes up in register.
Yeah.
That's the fire. That's
Yep.
the fire. It burns out, and there's smoke and like wispy tendrils at the end.
But,
yes.
I mean, the subject matter is surreal and disturbing and haunting. And
Yes.
What do you do? Okay, we'll write a song about that.
I know. Right? There's a good bit of that on our album.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's. How about who's in the band? Then we'll talk about the record. Who are the Honeylovers today?
Well, our core group is here with us today. So as we mentioned, James Posadell here on the keys. Woo, James! Maddox Frick plays guitar and also sings here and there.
Hi there.
Trevor Stoya is on the upright bass.
Howdy.
And then I'm Whitney Moore. I'm Queen Bee. I have a name. And we also sometimes play with lots of other awesome folks around town. Cynthia McDermott, Michael Gamble, who wrote a few of the songs. Steve Carla, who also contributed a song. Eric Hevron Smith. Just lots of awesome local folks that jump in from time to time.
And
who also love honey.
Okay, that's the key. Which is more important, honey or like 1920s and 30s? Jazz?
I know. No, the honey really is what matters.
Okay.
Yeah, totally.
but clearly, I mean, the music comes out of the American music from the 20s,
Yes.
the 30s, maybe into the early 40s. Maybe,
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I would say, kind of solid 30s, definitely some twinges of the 20s and early 40s. Yeah, for sure.
I think where you hear that in this band is how strongly this rhythm section is playing together. We're not on our own, separate instruments on our own separate corners of the world. We are all kind of contributing to this rhythm together. And it's hard to see if you're at home because you can't. But even Whitney here, our vocalist, has a snare drum. And so every member here is also a member of the rhythm section.
Yeah, we're all the rhythm section. Yeah. Which is definitely, like what we're always reaching for is that groove, like that really deep swing that just like...
At its core, it's dance music, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, which is what we love playing for dancers. Yeah, absolutely.
And that scene in Asheville is really, I mean, I don't know how big it is, but it's strong and vibrant. It just...
Proportionally, I think it's quite big. For the size of town we are, I think we're really lucky to have a great scene of dance and other bands similar to the style that we're playing, like early jazz, swing, trad jazz bands, yeah.
I should let folks know that there is a CD release show coming up on Saturday at ISIS Music Hall, but you can't go because it's sold out.
It did. It's sold out.
Listening that already have tickets.
Unless you already have a ticket. You cannot go.
Here's the good news, though. By popular demand, there's going to be an encore show Friday, May 3rd.
Yes.
Also at ISIS.
It worked out really serendipitously. Scott at the ISIS called me and he's like, strangely, we actually aren't booked the following Friday, which is unheard of at the ISIS. So he's like, do you want to come back and see if we can, get the folks who still want tickets? And actually, so far, we're doing pretty good selling tickets for that second show. So
Okay.
we're going to do a repeat performance.
So while supplies last there, that's Friday the 3rd. Will it be the same band? You bring in a lot of people for your CD release show?
Yeah, it'll be a little bit different lineup. Trevor couldn't be there, so we'll have a different bass player. But James will be there, and he couldn't be there at the first show, so it'll be a little bit different, but all the same
for
tunes.
a third album release.
Yeah.
Where we have every Honeylover member.
It's gonna
Exactly.
keep going.
Yeah, you know,
crossed.
Perpetual motion.
pretty soon it'll be like a year later, and you can start the new CD release tour.
Exactly.
Queen Bee and the Honeylovers are playing live. The record's called Asheville. There's a lot, the packaging and just the lyrics, the whole thing is fun to talk about. Let's get another song and we'll go into more about
Great.
this.
Yeah,
this
wonderful.
record. What's next?
I think next we were going to do Hayes and Hobson, right? Was that the plan? So we just released a music video for this tune, and it's super awesome. If you go online to our website, queenbeeswing.com, you can see it. And the story is a great story. So there's a Hayes and Hobson building right downtown on Pax Square that currently houses Pax Tavern. And in the Prohibition, the mechanics who owned the Hayes and Hobson building decided to run an illegal moonshine smuggling operation. I don't know why I'm getting all tongue-tied today. So they turned half of the building into a lumber mill so they could bring trucks in of all hours of the night, and they had illegal moonshine in the beds of the trucks that they would take in through the mechanic's office and then down into the basement where there was a tunnel that went across to the fire station. And then the firemen would distribute the illegal moonshine to the countryside in the backs of the fire trucks because theoretically the police wouldn't pull them over because they're a fire truck. And but of course there had to have been some police in on it because the police and the fire station shared a building. So anyway, it's a great fodder for a song. So this is Hayes and Hobson.
Hayes and Hobson is the name of that song. It's on the new record from Queen Bee and the Honeylovers, the new album, which is called Asheville. And they were playing live today here in Studio B. I should let folks know if you want to see this. Actually, you can see if you go to our website right now at
cool.
our WSB Facebook page, and we're streaming this live. So get your hair right. And we're also got a video going. There'll be a little more polished that Steve will put out here soon. So
Cool.
I listen to that song, and it's a fun tune, you know.
Yeah.
But there's so much like now you like keeping Asheville weird and freaky Asheville and all that stuff. That's not a new thing, huh?
Yeah, right. We've always been a little freaky. Well, we were a resort town. You know,
Right.
we were like a destination for wealthy people coming to recover from tuberculosis for a long time.
That's
That
right.
was like our kind of main focus. But then after that, we just turned into a kind of a playground for rich folks there in the early 20th century, like the Fitzgeralds. So a lot of crazy stories, lots to draw on.
So you're a singer and a musician and all that stuff, but apparently you're a historian too. Like,
No.
there had to be some research though.
A lot of
in writing your
research,
songs.
yeah.
Google.
A lot of Googling, right? No, I went to the library, to the North Carolina room at the Pack Library. And I took a lot of stories from my grandparents. So I'm an Asheville native, like 4th generation. And I grew up hearing not only local legends, but also my grandparents' direct stories about life here kind of during that time. And so I went and did a lot of research and put it all together, and am certainly not a historian because we actually do take a little bit of artistic license with a few tunes, you know, jumping to the next step. We don't flat out like make things up, but we maybe like fill in a little blanks for fun.
You mentioned your grandparents, but they're
Yes.
important on the record.
Yes,
huh?
my grandmother is on the cover of the album there. That shot of her.
That is so cool. Everyone should scramble around, find what your website is.
Yeah, it's queenbeeswing.com.
That photograph is awesome.
Yeah, thank you. I love that. I've always loved that picture. That was taken on her honeymoon in 1944.
When I first saw it, I assumed that was you. In
Several people
period
have said that.
clothing,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. I guess we look a little bit enough alike, you know, that and then on the back is my grandfather's tailor shop that was on Pack Square. So I've got her on the front and him on the back, as close as I.
And that tailor shop makes an appearance in song.
It does. Yep. Song that James and I wrote together called Logan and More. That's there on the album for sure. Yeah.
It's cool. So we're talking with Queen Bee and the Honeylovers and the new record, which is called Asheville. All original tunes.
Yep.
Everyone else, is the other band members from Asheville? You guys?
Trevor is.
Not at all.
Trevor's local. He went to Robertson. We were on rival teams.
Right.
I was Asheville High, so.
Okay.
But we've made up. It's cool.
You can see these folks playing live on Saturday, the 27th at ISIS if you have tickets. But that one sold out. So also on Friday, May 3rd in the Encore CD release party.
Yes.
You guys do other shows in the area. You have a weekly gig at
The Foundry. Yeah, we're there every Friday from 5 to 7. Though we miss a few Fridays because we've already got like some tours and things
Right.
booked that we're not in town. But yes, for the most part. And then we play all over other kinds of spots.
We're going to
the
be at the
usual.
Crow and Quill in
Yeah,
a couple weeks.
that's right.
Okay, yeah.
May 17th, is it?
That's the one.
I think it's the 17th. You can go to our website or, we're on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter at Queen Bee Swing. So there's lots of places to find our show schedule.
Lots of if you're into surfing around out there, lots of good publicity, and the videos that you've shot are really cool. So,
Yeah, we're doing great on that. Yeah, gotten some, and we're just tonight actually segueing into this next song we're going to play. We made a video for Beecham's Curve, and they're going to feature that video, show it tonight at the Music Video Asheville Awards, which we're really excited about. We're going to go straight there from here, and we were nominated for Best Cinematography and Best Soundtrack. So we're like really, I was like amazed to just get picked to be shown. So like to be nominated for an award is like even more exciting. So I know 2 awards, yeah. So yeah, which was the next tune we were going to play, right? Beecham's Curve.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So quick backstory about this. My grandfather used to tell me stories about riding on the trolley. So Asheville had a hydroelectrically powered trolley, and it ran from downtown to West Asheville as well as some other routes. But he would always talk about riding from the end of the line there where Haywood Road meets Brevard Road down towards downtown. And when you got to Beecham's Curve, which is where Haywood Road makes a sharp left, like 90-degree turn and heads down toward the river, that the trolley would shake so violently you thought it was going to come off the tracks. And for him as a little boy, it was just so thrilling. So I actually took that story, directly imposed it onto like a love story set in that trolley, and made it into Beecham's Curve. And you can actually, if you watch the video, there's the interview with him at the end of the video. That's my grandfather there at the end. So, all right, ready?
Very nice. Queen Bee and the Honeylovers on WCW Beecham's Curve. Fun on the trolley car, huh?
Yes. And the Gray Line trolley folks let us use the trolley for the afternoon to film that video. It was
Cool.
Really great. Yeah, really great.
So the record is called Asheville, and the lyrics focus on a period of a couple decades history.
Yep. 20s through 40s.
And the music is modeled on original compositions, but it's that music from that same period.
Exactly, which was kind of the idea, was like composing about things that happened during the era from which our music comes.
Why do you think this music resonates today? I mean, generations later, it should be gone, but it's not.
I mean, I can tell you why it resonates for me. I find the sincerity of it very refreshing in a kind of cynical, ironic time.
Yeah.
And of course, jazz and its complexity is really, as a musician, great to express through, like as a type of music. And I don't know, maybe you guys can speak to that too, as far as the musical end of why jazz.
I would hark to the just the raw humanity of this genre, the way that we play it, and the way that lots of people play it, but it's why it's so prolific, because it's not just notes on a page. It's not just your thinking brain. It's very much happening. It's alive in a moment. This stuff isn't really written down. When I'm listening to Trevor, and I'm James on the piano, I'm making sure that my bass notes don't conflict with his. I'm listening to what
dissension.
We're trying not to step on each other's toes.
Link up.
We're trying
Link
to.
up. It works.
Yeah.
Pick each other up. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate dialogue, right?
100%. Yeah.
Well, and there's a sense of that in jazz. It's like everyone gets a solo, everyone gets a spotlight. Like it's a very collaborative. There's kind of an equality, I feel like, in jazz, at least in small combo jazz, the way we're playing it, where it is that kind of solo format.
I should also say it's really fun to watch you all play. I don't know if when you're playing, your looks on your faces, and it's just
We get into it.
I feel good.
We get pretty silly. We're pretty tame right now because we're like on air, But man, when you see us at a show,
close
like
to the
we get pretty
microphone,
silly and cut up a lot on stage. We have a lot of fun.
So Whitney Moore is Queen Bee, the Honeylovers. Who's in the band again? Let us.
Yeah, you're listening to James Posadell on the keyboard,
James.
Natick Frick on guitar, and Trevor Stoya on the upright bass.
So I was told there would be puns.
I know we've been remiss. I
You
know.
tampered that
There-
down.
I know there's a buzz out now about Queen Bee.
There's a
and the
buzz
Honeylovers.
around town. Yeah, there was that article in the Citizen Times that Marla Milling did. It was the hometown buzz. I thought that was a great one. Yeah, we have a lot of bee puns. There's endless, and honey puns. I've rewritten a lot of lyrics. Like whenever we do standards, just basic standards, I'll like rewrite the lyrics to make them like we do. I need a little honey in my comb.
Right.
instead of I need a little sugar in my bowl, things like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, again, it's Saturday is the CD release show at ISIS Music Hall, which is sold out. And then there's a second one. The encore show will be Friday, May 3rd at ISIS Music Hall in Asheville for Queen Bee and the Honeylovers. And there will be CDs on hand, I'm sure.
Yes, we'll have
Should
plenty
people be-
for both shows.
Cool.
So many boxes of CDs. Made possible by the Arts Council, I should say.
Yeah.
We got a grant from the Arts Council, which
Yeah.
was,
How cool.
really awesome. Yes,
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
How cool is that? Thank goodness
It's
for Arts
amazing.
Councils.
Yes.
Sounds great, everyone. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks.
here.
Yeah.
Great.
I think we're going to make you play one more song.
We'd love to play one more.
Is this the hit?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, we're going to do the title song of the album and the title of our hometown, Asheville. And I want to ask the listeners on the radio to shout with us because there's just this one really easy
Wouldn't hurt.
shout and we always get the audience to do. So if you're listening in North Carolina, for some reason we call it North Kakalaki. From what I researched, I think it comes from maybe Camp Lejeune is like a thing. They called it North Kakalaki. I don't know. But so when I say Asheville, you shout North Kakalaki, which I love the image of people driving in their car, just like North Kakalaki. It'll make me really happy. So you guys try with me and show them Asheville,
North Kakalaki!
Asheville.
North Kakalaki!
All right, there we go. Here we go. This is Asheville.
Hey, Whitney.
Hey.
Should we add a stinger to the end of this tune?
Whoa!
Oh!
Happened.
Thank you, James.
Wow.
Thank you. I know.
We got one in. We got one before it was too late.
We should keep a pun count.
You be crazy.
Oh, man.
All right,
Just
here we
winging
go.
it.
It's winging
You
it.
know, I like that one.
Oh, now we're getting them all in at one crunch.
Boy.
All right.
Queen Bee and the Honeylovers. I'm ready to go. Let's head on
I
up
know,
the
right?
road.
We tried to throw in a bunch of great little local references, and places people would go oh man. So
Awesome stuff. That is the title track to the new record, Asheville. Queen Bee and the Honeylovers. They're at ISIS for a sold-out show on Saturday, and then again on Friday, May the 3rd.
yes, indeed.
Sounded great, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, make you come again
Please.
one of these days. All right, live music on Studio B broadcast on WCW are made possible by Sierra Nevada.